In a small village deep in the heart of Africa, a child was born under the full moon. Her mother, Adoni, screamed as the midwives helped bring her into the world. When the child opened her eyes, a gasp ran through the hut. Her irises shone like molten gold, shimmering under the lantern light. The village elders whispered among themselves, calling it a sign from the gods. Her father, Bod, named her Iyanu, meaning a miracle, believing she had been sent to heal their broken world. As Iyanu grew, people noticed something strange. Whenever she gazed upon someone suffering, their pain seemed to lessen, their wounds began to close, and their illnesses faded. It was as though her golden eyes carried the touch of the divine. The elders declared her a child of the gods, destined for greatness. But with such gifts came fear, for not all saw her as a blessing. One fateful season, a deadly plague swept through the village, taking lives without mercy. Desperate, the villagers brought their sick to Iyanu. With each gaze, she drew out their pain, her own body trembling with exhaustion. She saved many, but each act of healing took something from her. The villagers cheered, hailing her as their savior. Yet, among them, there were whispers of doubt and fear. Her uncle, Doroje Iyo, who had always been jealous of the attention she received, saw an opportunity. He spread rumors that Iyanu was not a gift but a curse, that her powers came from dark spirits. Fear spread like wildfire. The same people who once bowed before her now watched her with suspicion. One night, as she returned from healing a dying child, a mob gathered outside her home. "Witch," they screamed. "She is the cause of our suffering." They set fire to her family's hut, forcing Iyanu and her parents to flee into the forest. The pain of betrayal cut deeper than any wound she had ever healed. Deep in the forbidden forest, Iyanu and her parents wandered, seeking refuge. They found solace among an old healer, Mama Is, who had once been cast out by the villagers for her knowledge of ancient magic. She took them in, teaching Iyanu how to control her gift and the cost it carried. "Healing is love," Mama Is told her. "And love, my child, always demands a sacrifice." Word of Iyanu's gift reached the ears of the king of a distant land. His only son, Prince Obina, lay dying from an unknown ailment. Desperate, the king sent his guards to find her. When they did, they promised safety for her and her family in exchange for her help. With hope in her heart, she traveled to the palace. At the palace, Iyanu stood before the prince, his breath shallow, his skin pale. She knelt beside him and met his gaze. The golden glow of her eyes enveloped him, drawing his sickness away. But as he gasped his first breath of new life, Iyanu felt her own strength drain. She staggered, feeling the life leaving her body. But just as darkness threatened to consume her, she heard a voice, her mother's voice, calling her back. Drawing on every ounce of her will, she fought to stay awake, to survive. Slowly, her strength returned, though she knew her limits had been tested. Though weak, Iyanu survived. The prince, now healthy, swore loyalty to her and ensured her family's safety. The king, overwhelmed with gratitude, offered her a place in his kingdom, but Iyanu refused. "My people still need me," she said. With newfound wisdom, she returned to her village, not as an outcast but as a legend. The village, upon hearing of her survival and the prince's healing, wept with guilt and shame. Those who had cast her out now begged for her forgiveness. Iyanu, with her golden eyes shining brighter than ever, forgave them, for she knew that fear breeds ignorance. She continued her healing, not just for her village but for all who needed her. And whenever someone spoke of her, they called her Iyanu, the girl with the golden eyes who defied death itself.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share for more.